name is right there, Roberto Rocafort. I am Spanish, obviously. I was born and raised in Puerto Rico. I have my home is Peru for the last 37 years of my life, so I live in Peru. I have a son, 30 years old. I have a wife. Yes, I do have a wife. And I go back and forth between Puerto Rico and Peru, but Peru is my base, my home, and where I have spent most of my life. By the way, I am not blind or anything, but I have really a problem with my eyes. So if I'm winking, it's not that I'm trying to I've been accused of many things, but I'm not trying to pick at anyone. It's just that I have something. So if you see me like that, it's not that I'm trying to pick you up, okay? Okay, so when we talk about South America, and I have worked in South America for the last 37 years of my life, you will be experiencing something very unique in the world for our culture of the Indian cultures, the Urus. They are living in these floating islands. I get people that tell me, Roberto, they cannot live here. It's impossible. Well, this is the way of life. This is where they live. They have lived here for generations. They have around 42 islands right there that they have to tie sometimes, because when the wind comes, the islands flow around in the lake Titicaca. And just to give you an example of how big that lake is, it's bigger than the island that I was born, than Puerto Rico. Can you imagine how big this lake is up here? And of course, they have a joke that goes around between the Bolivians and the Peruvians. We have the, we say we have the titi and they have the, the caca. But anyway, there's a lot of interesting things. Even Jacques Cousteau was able to do some research in the bottom of this lake and found the most gigantic frogs in the world were found here in Lake Titicaca. And I'm not going to spend my time now in Lake Titicaca, but we will go into detail what we will be encountering there. Okay, first of all, we're here at this hotel, which in a way is great, but in a way it's not the best way to begin, because from here we go to a completely different hotel. And I told my 8 people that came, which I really enjoy in Iquitos, I had a man that told me, Robert, I used the word quaint, quaint, like to make it exciting or different. Well, after this hotel, they don't tell me it's quaint. They tell me it's D-U-M-P, dumb, I don't know, anyway. So, don't expect anything like this any other place. Okay, so we'll be here not only 2 nights, we're going to be here 3 nights. Last year, if you check our tours, we were only here 2 nights, and people actually were complaining, and we take care of the complaints. Sometimes we have people that are born to complain. That's they complain all the time. But legitimate complaints, and this was a legitimate complaint. And people felt, man, like we came today, tomorrow, and next day we're off. But we go into a place that will be, I hope, will touch your soul forever. It's a spiritual place besides all the engineering and all the architecture that is there, and that is called Machu Picchu. When I started working, I didn't even know what Machu Picchu was all about. Now that I have been there, this will be my 20 time in Machu Picchu. I have never been bored with Machu Picchu. Machu Picchu never is the same. People ask me, well, how was the weather? Well, I can tell you, the weather could, in the same day, it could be hot, it could be rainy, it could be misty, Machu Picchu has a life of its own. And you will experience this, and the great engineering that these people were able to do in this incredible site. But besides that, it will touch your souls, I hope. I have some people that tell me, Roberto, I wasn't touched. Okay, well, a few people are never touched by anything in the world, but anyway, some people will be touched. It's a spiritual center, and I think you will experience this. And we will give you some time to be on your own in Machu Picchu. Machu Picchu will be, I hope, forever in your minds. When I started, people would say, well, what is that area? Muchu Puchu, Cuchumucho, they had all this but anyways, it's a Quechua word meaning old mountain. And Huayna Picchu, which is the mountain that you always see in the Kodak photograph, is right there. So you will be able to see one of the most remarkable places in the world, and actually, thank God, it was considered now one of the new wonders of the world. So we're very happy that we have 2 in South America. One is the Christ the Redeemer, those of you that have been to Rio de Janeiro, and Machu Picchu, finally voted as one of the new wonders of the world. The hotel is más o menos. Memorize this in Spanish. Más o menos means more or less. Remember that, more or less. It's a hotel, it's getting better. It's getting better, thank God. Now we have some curtains and we have nice towels. We joke about it, but at the beginning when I started, I've been with Vantage only 3 years. I have worked for only 4 companies in my life, American Express. I work with other company in Kent Drop, and this is the last company that I will be working with because I'm planning to retire, and you will hear what am I doing. I'm planning to write a book. And the reason I took 5 months off was to write a book, to finish, because I have a publisher, but guess what? Something happened to my eye, I could not do anything like that. Anyway, I'm very happy to work for Vantage, and this is actually, when I started with Vantage like 2.5 years ago, the hotel, you know, as soon as I walk, people tell me, is this part of the ruins? You know, they were not too happy with it. I had to really talk to them. It's not part of the ruins, and they have done a great job, and they're working, and they're getting better, and the water really doesn't come out of the bathtub, you know, just sprays less, and they have beautiful now shower curtains, which you will enjoy. So those are the things I remember. But also one night, remember we were there one night, location is good. It's facing the Urubamba River. Location is good. I don't know if you heard, we had problems like 1.5 years ago in January. Machu Picchu was closed. I was here January 25th with 28 people that we survived that. You know, we could not see Machu Picchu. We were stuck there like for 3 days. I was able to get some people out earlier in helicopters, and when we finally were rescued by the US, actually, US Embassy rescued many of us. When we came back to Ollantaytambo, we were like the Pope, you know, kissing the floor and being thankful that we were alive. But that group will never be, I will never forget them. It was 6:03, my 6:03 time to Machu Picchu, and we melted. Not, do you say melt? We were like together, stuck together, you know, like forever. I still correspond with those people, and we always remember. Sometimes a tragedy, because it was a tragedy like that, really we became a big family. And saying goodbye to them, I was telling some of my people today, was very difficult at the end because we wanted to continue, but of course everything has an ending. Cusco is like my home. I know very well Cusco. I've been there so many times. So in Cusco we have like a lot of, not a lot of free time. We will have home-hosted lunches. You will be able to meet local people that you will be able to enjoy, and you will be able to talk, except 2 subjects that I think should never be brought up in a table. And I will tell you why. Politics and religion. In one of our last group, I told my people already, in Quitos, we had 2 ladies, unfortunately, they belong to 2 different parties. And this simple man that we're having lunch is asking, well, how is politics in the States? Wrong question. This woman began saying one thing, the other, you know, I thought they were going to throw the soups and the tomatoes and the whole thing we're having. So, and the poor man that I'm translating because he didn't know English, so I'm saying, no, they're just having a little conversation. In the meantime, they were really, so politics, you know, they want to know what's going on. But again, it's like here. Right now, we are in a very difficult time in Peru. Whenever you see a hat, especially from Puno, you know, it's a derby hat. Oh, she comes from Puno, and they're very proud of their hat, because that means that they're from that particular area. Also, the way they dress tells you, sometimes we go to an island, the men will wear a hat, and they tell you with the hat, I'm single, I'm married, I'm not interested. You know, but that still is going on, and all those dresses, believe it or not, comes from a part of Seville, from Spain, from Andalusia, because they copied these people from that live in Taquile Island. I will finish with 3 things. First of all, complaints. I'm a social worker, by the way. I have a master's degree in social work. It helped me a lot in this work, I tell you. Because sometimes I don't understand the complaint. That's the biggest thing, you know. I had a woman sometimes, and she's very upset, and we already knew her. I was working with other people, and her major complaint, she had a wig, you know, a wig. At the time, she wore a wig. And every time the wig went like that, we knew we were in problem. The we were sure she was coming, and oh my God, there were 3 of us out there. She's, well, her major problem was that she didn't like the picture or the photograph that was in her room. You know, we didn't understand. I mean, if something is wrong, please let me know, obviously. But a picture frame or a picture that you, well, there was another lady, actually a Mexican lady that I love. I traveled with her like 6 times. She came down also. She didn't like her room either, because of the picture. What do? We change. And they love the room, you know. Sometimes it's unreal what goes on. And so if you do have a legitimate complaint, you're looking out, so, you know, let me know. That's what I'm here for. But sometimes people tell me, in Buenos Aires, somebody told me, I couldn't believe it. She said, well, I'm so disappointed. This is not Paris. No, this is the Paris of South America, but Paris is in France. So sometimes I had a man that told me many years ago, oh, Roberto, but I'm disappointed. I don't see any tanks in the street. Where's the revolutions? You know, I don't know how they make this up. Or are they for real? But complaints, please come to me. Don't go to Mary or John or Harry. They're not going to help you. And tell me right there and then. And I will be able to help you as much as I can. Already before my arrival, Vantage already sends that to the hotels. I tell you this because of the Quaint Hotel, don't forget Quaint Hotel. There are some rooms, we just have rooms at that hotel, but there's some rooms that do face the river. If you have a room like that, please don't come down and say, oh, what a beautiful view I have. Don't be hurting other people, don't do it. Keep it to yourself, don't even tell me, I don't even know. Enjoy your room, because it will make 20 other people or whatever very angry, and there will be some surprises for some people. Again, it's not that I select. Already Vantage sends this advance. The more you travel with Vantage, if there's any upgrading, it will be for the people that are, and there are 4 people already that I saw the list that have done 15, 7, 7, 7, 7. Okay, at this altitude, which I didn't cover, and I will cover just for 1 minute, most people adjust to the altitude, so don't be frightened by the altitude. 99.9. There's always 1% that doesn't adjust. I arrived in Cusco, and when I look around and I saw Mrs. Hildegard in the floor, well, obviously she's not adjusting. Something's wrong. But most people do adjust. I had 2 ladies in this tour many years ago who went to Lake Titicaca. You know the Gabor sisters? I call them Jaja and Eva Gabor because they were exactly like them with the wigs and the eyelashes and the whole thing, and they were always ready. But their altitude did not agree with them at all. The guy says, you know, now I'm going to tell you the legend of the Incas, how they started. And these 2 ladies came up to me and said, Roberto, we hate the Incas. We hate the whole idea. We just want to survive. We think we're dying anyway. Every time we ask you a question, you go into all this explanation. Like tonight, I'm supposed to be finished, and here I am. But I said, well, I will try my best. And he said, Roberto, and I just wanted to fix the wigs because they were like, they were like this. And they said, that's the exception. Remember, that's not the rule, the exception. We hate the Incas. We like you, but we're beginning to hate you also. We hate the guy, we hate the catamaran. We were going to La Paz, Bolivia, you know. And so the guy said it would take me like 2 hours to talk about how the Incas started with the Sun Island. They said if he talks, we will kill him. They were really mad. So they called me separately, and they went to the back of the boat, or the catamaran, or the hydrophone that we're going. And they said, Roberto, just answer me the simple question before we die and collapse here. Remember, this is bigger than Puerto Rico. It's 110 by 46 or 48, so it's huge. We're 100 by 35. We don't know where we are. We just want to know if this is the Pacific or the Atlantic Ocean. So, Roberto, Atlantic or Pacific? So I live in Lima, I said, well, this is the Pacific. And one of the sisters looked at the other one and said, see, Mildred, I told you, it's the Pacific. You keep saying it's the Atlantic. Anyway, that happened at this altitude situation. Now we can control it. Coca tea helps a lot. Oxygen helps a lot. Coca tea sometimes helps too much. People that never smile begin to smile. People that hate, they don't hate anymore. And then just for tomorrow, we will not begin the tour till 7 a.m. No, tour. Or we will be, I'm just joking. I like to joke. If you don't joke, it's the lie. I'm half blind, so I'm just falling apart. So I might as well joke. Okay, so we're ready. Welcome. You're going to have a great experience, and I hope that at the end you will really have had an experience of a lifetime in this great country of Peru.